So hello good people of the internet, this is Tommy Kelly and this is yet another video in the 47th video course. And in this video what I want to talk about is a bit about Chaos Magick in general and what it is. But I want to preface the whole video by saying that this is what I personally think Chaos Magick is, and not necessarily reflective of the greater thought on what Chaos Magick is. Because it seems to me that recently, well maybe not recently, but maybe it's just come to my attention recently, that Chaos Magick has become possibly different from what the original intention was, and it has evolved into something more. And there is a kind of a tendency with practitioners to kind of demand that other people accept Chaos Magick in the way they see it, which to my eyes is kind of negates the entire idea or ethos behind Chaos Magick. But I will start by just a general introduction, and we'll go through the different ideas of Chaos Magick and see where we end up. So first, I want to tell you that Chaos Magick probably started originally in the 70s with people like Peter J. Carroll and Ray Sherwin. And in 1978, a book came out called Liber Null, which, while it didn't mention Chaos Magick, the name Chaos Magick, or even say that at all, is kind of what Chaos Magick is born from. It was later republished in the 80s, the early 80s, with another book, Psychonaut, which is put together as one book. So today, if you're looking for that book, it'll be called Liber Null and Psychonaut. And I have it there, but I'll talk about those books later. And the main thing that to me, and what attracts me to Chaos Magick, is this idea of belief as a tool. Now, what does that mean? What it means to me is that rather than belief, what you believe, being an unchanging part of you, that's something that you've no control over, and it's just a thing that is kind of in one sense outside of you. No, this is what I believe, that you take control of your beliefs, and you take the reign of your beliefs rather than having this, the outside influences or whatever it is that where your beliefs came from control you. So you are in charge of your beliefs and you decide what to believe. The other thing that I really like about Chaos Magick is the pragmatism. And the pragmatism is an emphasis on the practicality of ideas. Now, I would go further, and I've said this often before, when I talk about when people ask me, is magic real? I go, it's not the question, it's not really the question. And the question for me is it useful? So pragmatism in magic and in Chaos Magick really attracted me to it, because it's kind of side questioning, is it real? It doesn't matter if it's real. It matters if it works, or if it's useful, or if you can get something from it, or if by doing the things you do, you get what the desired result. And so you have this kind of idea that you can believe whatever you need to believe in the moment to get the desired result of what you want. And then to do this, you would do things like, it's been described, well, the name has been stolen, but it's paradigm shifting. So in the moment of something, you totally believe this to be true to get the result you want. And then you can drop it the next day and think of something completely different. And the example kind of this is that for one day you could work totally with the Goetia and demons and be totally absorbed into that and get the thing you want. The next day you can think that's all bunk and be completely into Jesus, or you can be into Buddhism. But while you're doing it, it's not pretending that you're into these things. It's actually believing that to be the 100% truth of reality to get the desired result, whatever it is you're looking for. So to me, Chaos Magick is a very kind of subjective magic. It's all about you and your views of the world and how you see things, which is why I kind of pull away from these things where people are trying to make, in a sense, trying to make Chaos Magick or kind of pinpoint real things in it, or what is the real, like, is demonology the real bit? Is that's what, why does magic work? Rather than it works because you believe it works. Another kind of problem then you have with Chaos Magick is, how is it any different from, say, something like the law of attraction? And this gets people into the things of where to try and define the thing, it being apart from just, because you believe it, it becomes true. Because obviously the law of attraction is about you believe something and it will manifest in your life, which is not that really dissimilar in a lot of ways to, say, sigils, which is one of the main things of Chaos Magick, where you you write out your desire, you cross out all the repeating letters and all the vowels, and you make a glyph out of it, and then by some form of gnosis you launch it into the world. And I often have debates with people going, how is that really much different from a vision board that would be big in law of attraction, or a mantra, or you know, constantly thinking, you know, oh, a car. And I think what it is, ultimately the answer is that law of attraction is all about getting the stuff and getting things, and it's very focused on materialism. It's very seldom people are using law of attraction to become a better person, or to, you know, it's usually the examples given is, oh, you're getting that new car, getting that husband, getting that wife, getting that girlfriend, which is not necessarily material in the sense of, you know, a car and a husband, but it's still wanting the stuff to complete you, you know, external stuff rather than working on you know, the internal thing. So in a sense, Chaos Magick to me has more of an internal kind of working, where you're trying to become, at least for me, a better person or a better being, or you're working towards becoming more spiritually or magically evolved. Now, not everyone sees that Chaos Magick is that, and a lot of the focus in Chaos Magick will be about getting the stuff, getting the money, paying the rent, getting, you know, getting the stuff, and that's fine and all that, but Chaos Magick should, in my opinion, and from my point of view, encompass this greater thing of trying to evolve as a spiritual being. Now, yes, the other thing that's very prevalent about Chaos Magick is just that idea of gnosis, or a kind of a Gnostic state. And it's probably a terrible word. It's, you know, it's not a good term. It's kind of can be off-putting, because gnosis basically means knowledge in Greek. And what gnosis is in Chaos Magick is a moment of connection with the one, or the great, you know, the universe, or that great unknown, or whatever it is, where everything switches off just for that second, and you can, you know, put an idea into the matrix, or whatever it is, this kind of thing that you want to see. And for that, people have, you know, to get into this ecstatic state, which is gnosis. The most, you know, popular one, or the one that's most known, is, you know, ejaculation or orgasm. And, you know, that's, you know, kind of gets that bad name of Chaos Magick that, you know, all Chaos Magick or magicians do is just, you know, masturbate all the time. And while there probably is an element of people doing that kind of sex magic and all that, the gnosis state, or the ecstatic state, can get from loads of different things, like spares death posture, or through listening to music, from anger, from laughing, from anything that gives you a high state of being, an ecstatic state of being, you know, love, or anything that's intense like that. And at that moment of pure intensity, you drop in your sigil, you drop in your intention, whatever it is that you're working on. If you want to go further into Chaos Magick and a bit more into it, because I mean, this course isn't about Chaos Magick, this is about using the 47s, but it's important for me to touch on this because 47s falls within a Chaos Magick mode of thinking. So, the book I talked about earlier is Liber Null and Psychonaut. Now, even Peter J. Carroll wouldn't recommend this as his better book or whatever, but it is a good foundation, and it will give you a lot of the ideas that people talk about in Chaos Magick. And while some of it is what it is, probably worth your time. We will 100% be doing this in the book club at some point. Another big name in Chaos Magick would be Phil Hine, and this is Prime Chaos. He also has another book called Condensed Chaos, which kind of furthers or develops the ideas of Peter J. Carroll and Ray Sharon and the like, and also worth your time, very much. People have a lot of time for this guy, including myself. Now, this is the one that we did in the book club, which is Advanced Magic for Beginners, which I recommend should be people's first book on magic. If you want to know more about it, check out the book club videos. And we have Gordon White's The Chaos Protocols. I would actually probably say get pieces of 8 before getting this, or actually what I would recommend is you sit down and you read through runesoup.com, all the magic posts on that. This is pretty good. It's aimed at a particular audience. And yeah, so between this and Pieces of 8, Starships, which is his other book, should be a book that you read later on if you're new to it. Probably an essential read too, but not your first. As Gordon says himself, it shouldn't be your first book about Chaos Magick, but it could be your second. I also forgot to take it out, but would also recommend anything by Ramsey Jukes. His last book, which is The Years of Magical Thinking, I think is what it's called, which is his kind of biography of magic, of his life in magic, whatever. Totally worth your time. SSOMBTE, Sex Secrets of the Black Magicians Exposed. Great book, as is any of his books. Just check out Ramsey Jukes. Just if whatever book you get, you're on for a winner. And then one of my favorites. This is a grimoire. This is the Necronomicon. It came out in the late 70s. It is probably a made-up book. In fact, it's a made-up book, made-up grimoire, but all of it's made up. All of this is made up. All grimoires are made up. Probably written by Peter Lavenda, and it has done well in Chaos Magick circles because it works fairly, good, has a good gate walking system and stuff. So if you're looking for something with a bit of kind of its own aesthetic and its own kind of vibe, then I would recommend the Necronomicon. I really like it. I've had more results from the Necronomicon than I have with any other system of magic, barring the 40 servants. So yeah, that's Chaos Magick. And as I say, that's kind of my approach. My main thing in Chaos Magick is the belief and believing what you need to believe and to get what you want, that it's a very subjective thing, that there's no kind of rules, this is what Chaos Magick is, this is what it isn't. It's whatever it is to you. Whatever you need to believe to get what you want to believe. That, to me, is the main focus and the main drive of Chaos Magick, along with its pragmatism and its focus on the practicality of ideas, in that if the idea works, use it. If it doesn't, change it, augment it, and try it until it does work, or drop it. That the ideas themselves aren't as important as the practical uses, and that the focus should always be, and the proof should always be, on whether it worked or not. So you focus on results, and you let the results be thy proof, and all that. So that's kind of a very quick introduction to what Chaos Magick is. Lots of people disagree with that, and that's 100% fine. You should. And some people will agree with what I'm saying too, which is fine, and you should. But in the next video, I'm going to talk a bit about what are servitors, and then relate them to what exactly are then the 40 servants. And after that, we're going to go through the breakdown of each of the 40 servants themselves in individual videos. So there'll be 40 kind of shorter videos where I'm going to go through the grimoire, what it says in the grimoire, and kind of not update it, but kind of from what people have been talking about and questions I've been asked, add some bits and pieces to it. Then after that, I will be going through rituals and the different things that you can do with the 40 servants and how to use them. So that will keep us going for a while, and it will probably, the next video should be out before Christmas. The servitors, what are the 40 servants, and then the breakdown to 40 videos themselves, and the ritual videos will happen then in the new year. So good people of the internet, may you all be well, and may you, enjoy your Chaos Magick.